BMW i4 delivery starting, a Lancia Delta Integrale coming back, a Porsche getting an e-bike treatment, and EV sales numbers in November looking good. We must be back with a new instalment of EV Morning. Need I say it at this stage? Grab yourself a cup of coffee, settle in for the news, and welcome to the show. My name is Martin Lee, and if you like what we do here, hit the subscribe and the bell icons so you never miss a show. Not sure about you, but I love a bit of motorsport, interested in how that's all going to go electric, but particularly I love rallying, and that seems like a good sport to go electric after all. Short bursts of speed, lots of stages where they can stop and recharge. Now, one of the iconic cars I will always remember is the Lancia Delta Integrale, and great news, it's coming back, kind of, in an E-way. Not the way you might think. GCK Motorsport are going to be lining up in the 2022 EV World Rallycross Championship. They're not actually using an old Lancia Delta, but rather their own exclusive E-chassis that they plan to build out a shell for. The car will have a 500 kilowatt motor and 880 newton meters of torque. It's a beast. Acceleration will be incredible, and we can't wait to see how it gets on. And if you like what you see, the company are making a limited run of road-going versions, although with a good deal less power. The all-wheel drive unit will have 147 kilowatts of power and 350 newton meters of torque. They'll equip it with a 30 kilowatt hour battery. That's going to be good for something like 200 kilometers or 125 miles of range. Let's head over to China for a minute. We've had some pretty good numbers coming from various manufacturers for November. Chinese companies NIO and XPeng, as well as German VW, have had a great November in China. A few months ago, we reported some underwhelming numbers from the VW brands in China and the joint ventures they have there, but they're making a bit of a turn. They've shifted just over 14,000 units between their ID range on sale. They have the 3, the 4 and the 6 that isn't on sale outside of China, but at a projected 55,000 for the year, they're going to certainly fall short of their 100,000 target. Part of the recent increase may be thanks to an offering of interest-free battery loan service on the ID3. As for XPeng, they've outdone VW by shifting just over 15,000 units, a 270% increase year on year. And the success of XPeng is spread across its range of cars. They're the first Chinese startup to hit the 15,000 monthly sales mark. And with new models like the G9, that's an SUV by the way, that's on the way. Their future looks bright. And riding the wave in China is NIO, who've also had a record month, although the number is slightly smaller at just under 11,000. Added good news for NIO is their eggs are not in one basket. Sales of their cars are spread fairly evenly across the models. They've also started selling in the European market recently, with Norway getting the first batch. The introduction of the ET7 into their lineup next year, likely expansion to more European markets. We think Germany's going to be next for NIO, and the continued rollout of battery swap stations heralds what I think is a really exciting era for the company. In the EV world, we've become accustomed to delays in cars being released over and over again, so it's great and an unexpected pleasant surprise when things happen early. Customers in Germany have been lucky enough to get their hands on the all-new i4 a whole 3 months before BMW had promised deliveries. First deliveries of the iX car are going to follow in about a week's time. Now, the i4 is a highly anticipated EV coming from BMW, having done so well with the i3. Many of us were disappointed that they didn't move forward as quickly as they could have done. So, delighted to see them coming to market with a full battery electric vehicle. And another great thing is this is a 300-mile, 400 kilowatt motor Grand Coupe, not just another crossover SUV. It adds to the market. Nearly every other EV these days is some sort of crossover SUV. So we're looking forward to getting our hands on this car and testing it on the channel. Customers were brought to the BMW Welt in Munich, a huge exhibition and delivery venue. The building itself is covered in 3,660 solar panels, giving a peak of 800 kilowatts. A nice place to pick up your shiny new electric BMW. Now we can't wait to see customer reactions and the real-world performance of the i4. And hey, I mean, BMW, if you're watching, I will take a M50 in blue as my test car, please. Porsche's interest in Croatian electromobility has taken another step forward. We were all really intrigued by the new arrangement with Rimac a few months ago, but Porsche had a presence in the region back a bit further with a 10% stake in luxury e-bike maker Greyp. But they've just taken a majority shareholding, so the bonds there go deep, as Mate Rimac is also one of the founders and minority shareholders in that company. Now, it's exciting to think that Porsche might be applying their engineering heritage, and we look forward to seeing how their lineup develops. But it's also perhaps a sign of the times, in that traditional car makers are starting to see the trend towards e-mobility in all sectors, and e-bikes in particular. They don't want to miss out on that piece of the pie. The G12S is the bike that caught my eye. Nearly €10,000. But hey, it does look great. It's got a 12 kilowatt peak motor, an 84 volt, 1.5 kilowatt hour battery, and the battery management system even comes from Rimac, which is nice. So let's wrap it up there, folks. What did you make of the stories today? What really caught your eye is a BMW i4 on your shopping list. What do you make of the progress of Chinese manufacturers? And you can let us know about any stories you'd love us to cover on this show in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like this show. It tells us to make more like it, and we'll see you on the next one.